Hello, it's Jess. I am jumping back on today to talk about the books I've read this month, except that I haven't read any books this month. Guys, I'm in a bit of a reading slump, and so this is going to be a bit of a different video because I wanted to do a reading vlog today of trying to finish the one book that I have been reading in March and have been struggling through. So the book is All the Colours of the Dark by Chris Whitaker. I have heard such good things about this book. It's sold as kind of a mystery thriller literary fiction, and it came out last year and there was a lot of hype around it. I've seen a lot of talk about it online, and I was really looking forward to a fast-paced, gripping book that I could really immerse myself in. It's really long. It's like almost 600 pages long, and as you can see, I'm about 1/3 through it. So the book is about two characters mainly. It's about Patch, who is a teenage boy who goes missing. He's abducted by this kind of creepy guy, but we don't really know where he is or what the circumstances were. And then the other main character is Saint, who was Patch's best friend before he went missing. She is kind of this rugged, independent kind of girl who, when Patch goes missing, is obviously devastated, but also puts all of her energy into trying to find him again. And I thought the whole story was going to be about the mystery of Patch's disappearance and then how he's eventually rescued. But it's turned out a little bit differently. And this is a minor spoiler, so skip through this bit if you are planning on reading this book, but he is found and returns to the town relatively early in the story. And then the rest of the book is actually about how his disappearance has changed him and his town and the relationships with the people around him. And the other aspect to the story, which is a bit of a mystery, is that when he was missing, he is missing with a girl, and they're kind of held captive together, and he has some vague memories of their time together. He never sees her face, he never finds out her real name, but she introduces herself to him as Grace. And so the other part of the book is that he is trying to find Grace, and he believes that she's out there, she's still missing, and he starts to enlist the people in the town to try and help him to find this girl. So that is the premise of the book. I borrowed this book about a month ago from the library. I was really excited to read it, just could not follow what was happening. And I kept having to reread sentences over and over again. And I was reading some of them out loud to Mitch thinking, am I going crazy, or is this sentence nonsensical? And I'll put some of the sentences here to try and explain what I mean, but some of them just do not make grammatical sense, and I was having to read pages over and over and over again. However, because I've heard such good things about this book, and because it's due back at the library tomorrow, and I really want to finish a book in March, I thought for the rest of the afternoon I would try and finish reading it. I'm currently about 1/3 through. I think I'm going to skim read it. I don't normally skim read, but because I just want to kind of get through the plot and enjoy the mystery of it, I thought I would try and vlog the experience of finishing this book. The chapters are so short, and so I really think that I can finish it because some of the pages are like half pages. So we'll see how we go. Okay, it's been half an hour. I'm making some good progress and I'm getting back into the book. But I'm realizing that the reason I find it so confusing is there's a lot of showing, not telling in the writing style, but in a way that's confusing. Like, listen to this line. Grumpily, comma, he told her his eyes were not the first to cry. What? To chapter 100 and it's time for lunch. Okay, quick check-in while my food is heating up. I'm actually halfway through the book now, guys. I've made good progress. Skim reading is definitely the way to go because otherwise the sentence structure will drive you crazy and you will reread all the sentences trying to figure out what on earth they were trying to say. But the plot as you skim read is getting more interesting. So I would recommend doing that if you are going to read this book. As I mentioned, the book is about Patch and Saint, and Patch went missing with a girl named Grace. And the middle part of this book has definitely been about how over the years the search for Grace has consumed both of these characters and kind of brought them together in an unexpected way. So I am curious, but time for lunch. Oh, lunch check. Okay guys, final check-in. I'm actually almost finished the book and I'm having the most perfect cozy reading afternoon. I've been feeling sick this week, so this has been just a really restful afternoon. And I'm really grateful. But update on the book. So a lot of people spoke about how the ending was really good, and I feel like we're building up to a big plot twist. It has been slow going, but I think there's been a lot of character development that's going to make the ending make sense. So I'm looking forward to it. Also, just a random thought, but there's a child that comes into this story, and I think she's meant to be a bit of comic relief, but her character is just so unrealistic for her age that it doesn't really work in my opinion, but she's still a likable character. Wow, so close. Guys, we made it to the end. Boom. Final thoughts. I'm not gonna lie, this book had put me in the biggest reading slump I've been in a while. It tries to be one of those amazing books that drops little hints throughout and then brings them all together in a big reveal at the end. But I think because I found it difficult to get through and there was such a big gap between when I started and when I finished it, the reveals were good, but I wasn't really getting that satisfying ending that I had hoped for. I mean, it did end up being, you know, a bit of a different story than what you thought it was going to be. There's redemption of certain characters, but you had to suspend a lot of disbelief with the ending. There were just so many coincidences, everything was tied up very nicely. I think I'm going to give this book a 3 stars. Look, it definitely had promise, but I just found the writing style frustrating. I think if you really enjoy character-driven fiction that explores resilience and the human spirit and love through trials, then you might enjoy it. But I think overall it was just really long, and I felt that the ending was a bit forced to deliver an emotional punch. But for me, because it had been such a long gap between when I started the book and then finished it, I'd forgotten maybe some of the detail from early on that would have made the ending more impactful. Overall, I don't know if I'd recommend it, but I'm glad I finished it. I'm glad I pushed through, because this is my March reading wrap. See you all next month.